Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified Doctor of Naturopathy, Dr. Stephen Cabral, shares with you exactly how you can reverse aging, take back your health, and live a life full of energy and passion, with new 20-minute episodes every single day to keep you healthy and engaged. Now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
All right, everybody, we're here with a brand new podcast. Today is episode 2729 of the Cabral Concept. If you'd like to download this glyphosate-based report, it's just a sample report, but it will show you exactly what it looks like for you to find out your own glyphosate toxicity levels, as well as maybe a child or a family member of yours. So this is really important. Practitioners can run this with their clients or patients, but glyphosate is becoming a serious issue all over the world. And that is because even for people eating mainly organic foods, when you're out to dinner or you're out at a cafe, or even if there's cross-contamination, we're getting so much glyphosate from GMO-based foods and conventional-based farming in our food system. And the problem is we end up with these mystery-based issues of bloating, gas, intestinal cramping, leaky gut, autoimmune, nausea, maybe even vomiting on a higher level, as well as skin rashes, low blood pressure, lightheadedness. All of these things can be contributed to glyphosate-based exposure. So this is the real deal. This is literally something, like I said, I wrote an email newsletter just a few weeks back on this, but it is becoming much more public news. It's been around for a long time, though. And the problem is glyphosate can begin to accumulate within your body. This is a very simple lab test. Just a simple at-home urine test. You literally just take a morning urine sample, send it to the lab, and you get your results back just a couple weeks later. And it will tell you whether you're in the optimal zone, as close to zero as possible, whether you're in the elevated zone, and if you're watching this on video, you can see that's in the yellow. That's elevated, right? Or if you're out of range. And the out of range is going to be a much higher level than we would certainly like. Now, elevated, we don't want to see it there either, but we want to try to get our glyphosate levels as close to zero as possible. Now, again, this lab is extremely easy to read, whether you're an integrative health practitioner, a practitioner of another type, or whether you're a client or patient. So your goal is to be between 0 and 1.79. That's the optimal range, meaning like everyone typically has a little glyphosate exposure, unfortunately, because it's the world we live in. It's like if you run a minerals and metals test, almost everybody comes back with a little bit of aluminum. Believe it or not, that's the new normal. It's not healthy, shouldn't be normal, but it's the world that we live in. So for glyphosate, we want to get you as close to zero as possible. If you're above a 1.8, up to a 2.9 or 2.49, that's elevated, meaning like, okay, you definitely have a little bit more exposure or more accumulation over the years. We need to work on that, right? We need to get it lower. Now, if it's above a 2.5, then we want to take action right away. It doesn't mean that we're diagnosing a disease. There's no medical advice, medical treatment plans, medical cures. But we know is like you've been exposed to a larger amount, okay? Maybe it's recent, maybe it's accumulated. The lab won't tell you that. Nobody can tell you that. But what we want to do is share with you specific foods, right? And specific nutritional interventions, some of those nutritional supplements which could lower that. So let me share with that now. This client, again, this is a sample lab. This client was out of range at a 2.67, okay? So since they're out of range, what we're going to recommend is a 21-day functional medicine detox. Now, again, it is their choice for whatever company they want to work with. So what they want to do, though, is they want to ramp up phase 1 and phase 2 liver detoxification. It might sound fancy, might sound like medical speak, but it's not. All you're trying to do is get your liver to eliminate the glyphosate in your body faster. Your liver detoxes the body all day long, but unless it has all the raw material it needs, which is phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is basically all of your methylated B vitamins, vitamin E, a lot of antioxidants for the final process of phase 1. And in phase 2, we need a lot of the amino acids. We need a lot of the sulfur-based amino acids that come from cruciferous vegetables, or things like N-acetylcysteine, taurine, glutamine, glycine, ultimately leading to glutathione. Those aren't the ones that people typically get as much from their diet, so we typically supplement with those as part of a detox with a little bit of a longer intermittent fast that helps your body to deal with less stuff like new food coming in and instead focus on eliminating what's already in the body and emptying that rain barrel. That's the easiest way to do it for people at really high levels. Although it's not in the next steps and recommendations, I probably recommend just doing an intermittent fast of 12 hours to 16 hours a day, which is more hours before bed rather than skipping breakfast. So it's typically stopping eating around 6 at night if you can, and then go until like 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning or so. And that's going to be 13, 14 or so hours. You can go a little longer if you're healthy, but that's an easy way to do it. And then there's another product called the Daily Detox Support. And you can take 2 capsules of that a day as well to continue to help the liver at a lower level to continue to process the glyphosate out of the body. Besides that, we want to make sure that you are not eating a lot of the crops that are heavily sprayed. So my recommendation is to check out the podcast called it is called The Dirty Dozen and The Clean 15. The Dirty Dozen, you don't want to eat if you can't find organic. And the Clean 15, if you can't find those organic or you're trying to save money, those are okay because those are not sprayed as much with glyphosate or you can easily wash it off. Most fruits and vegetables can't really wash it off, right? Wheat being one of those big ones as well. Now, if you want to go deeper on your health, your digestive system, if you have a lot of bloating, a lot of gas, skin rashes, headaches, etc., this is a lab test that will help you go much deeper. That's called the Candida Metabolic and Vitamins Test. We can link these up in the show notes as well. So hopefully this was helpful. This is basically exactly how to read a glyphosate toxicity test. Anybody can run this. What we're trying to do is open source lab tests all around the world. We ship this literally all around the world. We sign off on it because you need a doctor to sign off in these labs. We get you the results as quickly as possible. And then if they are elevated, what to do. And so hopefully this is helpful. Thank you everybody for tuning into the Cabral Concept. We thank you. We appreciate you. Head on over to StephenCabral.com/2679. Sorry, that's /2729 for all of today's details. Again, that's StephenCabral.com/2729 for all the details. Take care. Ever wonder what the best sauna, blue blockers, sleep trackers, wake lights, salt lamps, or other health gadgets are? Or what about the top non-toxic mattresses, sheets, soaps, bath products, toothpaste, and cookware? Or would you like to know the cleanest choices for hemp parts, meal delivery services, supplements, and much more? I personally curated, researched, and now created a resource page of all of my top picks that continues to grow each week. These are the exact products I use in my own life, with my family, in my private practice, and they're the ones I trust. To find out all of my up-to-date recommendations and all the details, simply head on over to StephenCabral.com/resources.